Today I'm doing an official tier list of the best consoles, and before I kick this bad boy off, I just want to say that this is not an official list, meaning you cannot get mad at me no matter where I place these consoles, dumbass. I am a genius. I have run hundreds of mathematical equations to create this list. Some of it is initial impact, historical relevance, and also how do these games hold up today. So here we go. NES is in the game, the classic, the original. This is the machine that brought console gaming back to life, and it's the first console I ever had. Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on one cartridge. If you know, you just know, and if you don't, go back to playing Fortnite, you fucking child. The NES has a library of over 700 games, but only one of them was good. Cartridges suck, always gotta blow into them, stupid. Controller sucks, graphics suck, Reggie is fucking stupid. Overall, C tier, because we have to pay respect to the classics. Next up is the Sega SG-1000. What an amazing machine this was. Everybody had one of these, and if you didn't have one, it's because you had the Sega SC-3000, or you had none of them like everybody. Didn't even come out in America, doesn't even get placed on the tier list, C tier. Super Cassette Vision. This has a calculator on the top. B tier, Sega Master System. Now technically, the SG-1000 was Sega's NES, but the problem with that console was that most of the people watching this video probably thought I made that up as a joke. Sega Master System, however, there was like 3 people watching this who knew that was real. What's great about the Master System is that the pause button is located on the console instead of the controller. For that move, A tier. Casio PV-1000. This was an extremely blue console. A tier. The Atari 7800. Wow. This was the biggest number console ever, meaning it was the most powerful. Even if you throw in Xbox 360 at this thing, you're still left with 7,400 horsepower, and Atari utilized it all with the game Beef Drop. This game sold 3 million copies. A tier. Super Nintendo. Now we're talking some real talk. Mario was missing. Mario's Time Machine. Ooh, Shaq Fu. What the fuck more do you want? The 16-bit era was twice as much power as the 8-bit era, which meant that the games were twice as good, and this is why Super Nintendo is in the C tier. You guys are so pissed right now. Game Boy fucking sucks. The original Game Boy was massive. It needed 4 AA batteries. The screen was horrific. It was green and black. Everything looked washed out. If there was a glare, you couldn't see anything. If it was too dark in the room, you couldn't see anything. Even for the time, the hardware was obnoxious. But it did have Tetris, so B tier. The Game Gear. You had to be a special kind of dumb to get this thing. B tier. Sega Genesis has blast processing, which is still faster than any computer today, going all the way down to the C tier. So we went through 8-bit, 16-bit, but what about 32-bit? Why don't you ever hear about 32-bit? Well, because the 32-bit era was a fucking disgrace. The biggest hardware release of this time was the Atari Jaguar, which was the most jag of all consoles. The only cool thing about this console was the name. Look at this controller. Atari. Huh? Atari, what? Why is there a phone on there? So that I can call Nintendo and order a better console? B tier for the Atari Jaguar. Nintendo Virtual. Sega Nomad. I will fucking kill Bowser. What's great about the Sega Nomad is that it lets you play Shaq Fu anywhere you go. A tier easily. Sega Saturn. Wow. The Sonic game of the Sega Saturn was Sonic R, and that explains the sales of the Sega Saturn. B tier. PlayStation. Okay, now we're cooking. Monkey Catch, Tony the Rapping Beaver, Little Rick Skate Park. It was all of the games you wanted to play, and like 50 RPGs. Keep in mind, this was back when RPGs were good. You know, before they were aimed at the Sonic Forces demographic. S tier for the Play System. Glover, Blast Corps, and that's all I need to say. S tier. Dreamcast. Am I right or am I right? Dreamcast is still the coolest console. Space Channel 5, Samba de Amigo, Shenmue, Power Stone, Seaman. The memory card was a little Game Boy, and you could play Crazy Taxi. S tier for the Dreamcast. PlayStation 2. Okay. Look at that. Look at the font on that logo. For the logo alone, I should put this in the S tier. But do not sleep on this library. X Squad, Elden Ring, Everhood. Orphan, Cassin, Tekken. Do I like PlayStation 2? Well, my man, I believe I do. D tier. You guys are so pissed right now. GameCube. GameCube went S tier. Xbox.
Happy Easter, Xbox.
The original Xbox had a very distinct smell when you got it out of the box. People who had Xbox know what I'm talking about. For that smell, I put Xbox at the B tier. Xbox 360.
Merry Christmas, Xbox. It's Usher.
Now we're coming full circle. Every single one of these broke down, but it had Call of Duty. Call of Duty is my favorite game. X tier for the Xbox. Hell yeah. Fuck PlayStation. PS3. PS3 had the scariest commercials of any console. The logo had the same font as Spider-Man 3, which is one of the best movies, and it had a Blu-ray player, which Xbox did not have. Xbox had HD DVD, which went out of business, making Xbox the laughingstock of the entire factory. Nintendo Wii. This is my mom's favorite console. Everybody loved Wii Sports because it went. This is where Nintendo abandoned third-party developers by putting out a lower specs console, and during the Wii U era, that was a big deal. That meant no Rockstar, no Bethesda, no Ubisoft, no EA, no BioWare, no Valve. These were the titles carrying PS3 and Xbox, and they weren't available on the Wii. Luckily for Nintendo, Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA, BioWare, and Valve stopped making video games. B tier. Wii U, more like PU. Nintendo went, hey, what if we make a bunch of video games? Gamers do not play games, Nintendo. Very out of touch and bad console. F tier. Xbox One is a legend. With this console, Microsoft wanted to come up with an even dumber name than the Wii U. Xbox One is actually the third Xbox, and it's like they say, good things come in threes. Fortnite, Madden, Assassin's Creed, Apex Legends, Among Us. Xbox One going in the X tier. PlayStation 4, more like the gay station 4, am I right? Because in every single game on the PS4 you are playing as a gay woman. Sony just got way too political this generation and started putting out these really bad games where all the characters are having emotions. Neil Cuckman turned God of War into a freaking soy boy. Bloodborne sucked, it was too hard. Overall, PS4 was a big mistake. F tier. Nintendo Switch, more like I want to switch to having a better console like the Xbox. Nintendo was famous for having no good video games like Fortnite. The big thing with the Switch is its portability, but once again, Nintendo is out of touch. I haven't left my house in years. F tier for the failed Nintendo Switch. PC. Hell yeah. PC has the best graphics easily. I got the Nvidia 10 million hooked up running that Among Us in 12K. What's nice about PC is that you get the backwards compatibility with NES, SNES, Genesis, PS1, PS2, N64, Game Boy, DS, and arcade cabinets thanks to emulation. But more importantly, you can play Hearthstone. S tier for the PC. PlayStation 5. This is your life. I love scalping these things. Last week I was at Walmart and I saw a 7-year-old boy reaching for a PS5, but I said very sternly, nuh-uh, and the kid looked confused and kind of afraid, and so I was able to grab the PS5, and I think he started crying. C tier for the PS5. And finally, we arrive at the pinnacle, the Xbox Series X. Not to be confused with the Xbox One X, which is a different console that just came out. Microsoft are the masters of video games and marketing. A couple months ago, they were going to double the price of Xbox Live, but then immediately backed down, and that's what I love about Microsoft as a company. The new Perfect Dark will be the first quadruple A video game, which is a Mega 64 video. So Xbox One X going into the X tier. And there you have it. That's the tier list. As always, don't even bother trying to debate me because I will absolutely destroy you. Happy Thanksgiving, Xbox.